Alright guys, today I want to show you one of the gambits, the Urusov Gambit. Let's make the first moves, e4, e5, knight f3, and we will make a move order from knight to f6. Urusov Gambit can be reached from various move orders, but I want to propose it especially against the Russian defense, which sometimes is really annoying because its idea for black is to get rid of these two pawns and put pawn on d4, d5, and eventually white will play d4, and black will have a so-called French structure, which is considered to be very safe for black. When we play white, we want to play more active chess, and we don't want to have this long boring game against black. So this d4 is very powerful move in order to create crisis in the center immediately. Black cannot play really d6 because takes, queen takes, and knight on e5 threatening f7. So knight to c6 also doesn't defend the pawn because we have two pieces attacking. So another option is to play knight takes c5, e4, I'm sorry, but at this point white will recapture on e5, and the problem with this knight that it is not going to go back on f6 very soon, and with bishop to d3 we will have a lot of attackers on the king side where black most likely will castle, and such moves as bishop to f7 with check and queen to h5 very serious threats for black. So black has to do something, and they have this move. This is okay move, pawn takes d4, and white plays development. White doesn't want to capture the pawn back. They play bishop to c4, developing the bishop and preparing castling. At this point black can play knight to c4, transposing into for knight's defense, which is extremely sharp, and at some point we have won this opening battle because from very dull opening we receive a very sharp play, and white is ahead in development. So this we brought, let's say, back black to our own territory. So another option is bishop to b4 check, and white continues playing gambit style, takes, bishop to c4, and for instance e5, opening up the game. Again we have very sharp play. Black has to play d5, and for instance bishop to d3, keeping all the threats and continuing playing without a pawn but with compensation. Alright, so black takes on e4, takes, and knight to e4. This is the Urusov Gambit main line. At this point the best move for white is to take with the queen. So this move allows attacking of the knight of black, winning a tempo. Also black's bishop is cannot be developed because it has to protect its pawn on g7. So black has several options here. For instance, they can play d5. Very standard maneuver, giving a pawn back, but for the development. And at this point, white has bishop to d5 takes. Again, knight is attacked, knight retreats. And with this small combination, which is seen in many openings, such as Danish Gambit, so white wins a pawn. Black has some compensation, but pawn is a pawn, so I would definitely take white here. All right. Here, let's make the move. The best move for black is to go back with the knight to f6. And white continues logical bishop to b5 pinning. As you can see, again, white is only one pawn down, but it has 4 pieces developed, and the knight on f6 is pinned. The best move is very modest bishop to e7, protecting, and white plays knight to c3, developing the last piece. Only one thing is left to do for white is to make long castling. Again, it's not the dull opening which we could face if we play standard Russian defense or Petrov defense. So at this point, black can play something like knight to c6, attacking the queen, and white moves its queen to very nice square on h4. With this position, black will think how to save his king. Yeah, the most obvious is to make castling, but after long castles for white has already a small advantage with white with being down a pawn. So let's say d6, rook to e1, and white has beautiful position. If let's say h6, then takes queen h3, and the engine says white is winning. Yeah, because g4 is coming, and if takes, then rook to g1 and giving black mate. All right. Let's make some more moves. Here, knight to c3, very standard. Let's say black plays c6, which is a theoretical move. Castles, d5, and bishop to d3. I want to show you that this position is not, let's say, for only one pawn, white in any case not worse. Let's say h6, then I recommend bishop to d2, and let's say here rook to h1, and we have beautiful position in the center, and we don't have to hurry, because if black makes castling, then g4, and with this pawn on h6 we will have breakthrough on g5. So again, we have to remember that when we capture with the queen on d4, and we continue very simple moves with knight to c3, bishop to g5, and long castles, and moves like knight to c6, very logical, actually help white to develop. So if here, and white has beautiful position. All right, thank you.